Of course, I think marking the right trade-off between business agility, operational efficiency, and cybersecurity is the key to success in modern times. Because it's needless to explain that what's the true importance of security, but then how do we line this up and strike the right trade-off? Uh, I think it has to be driven through the concept of privacy and security by design, right? So of course there are new modern products that are getting developed where security is actually embedded into the product design, right? And it's not going to be put up as a band-aid on top of it, right? So of course this can be explained through a convenient example here. Say for example, there are different products where you would want to have your multi-factor authentication. Now it's quite obvious that multi-factor authentication kills the user convenience to a certain degree, right? People will have to either key in an OTP or maybe a secondary authentication. How do we solve that, right? So I think, of course, through integrations, uh, you know, uh, with your identity access management, all any other identity provider, certainly you can go for a federated login, right? So that ways, I think there are definitely modern approaches through which you can strike off the right balance between efficiency, agility, and security, of course. A question very dear to my heart because I think cybersecurity, information security, all these things are more of a culture and less of a practice. It's more of a mindset than a science. And that's the reason I strongly believe that this is something which is always driven from the top down. Of course, you need to have the executive management, the board, the C-suite to believe that yes, cybersecurity is the key. They need to believe in the principles of security by design, privacy by design, and then only you can start enforcing these things into the entire workforce of the organization, right? A very simple example can be that you can't have simple exceptions for your executive management that I may not want to have this particular installation or this particular control on my endpoint device because I am the CEO of the organization or perhaps I am the chairman of the board. I think I should rather be an evangelist of these kind of controls as a board member or as a CSEC. I think a CSOT executive. It's important that if I evangelize these things, I be the first one to implement these things. Then of course the entire workforce will also have conviction in these things, and that's how all in all we'll be able to drive a culture through the entire organization. While there are many ways, through which cybersecurity solutions and vendors or I always prefer calling them as partners and not vendors. Firstly, I think there are many ways. There are many standard frameworks that can be done in order to evaluate them. However, I strongly believe in triangulation of three factors. One is the operating effectiveness of controls. How efficient are the controls of the product, what sort of assurance they can provide in my ecosystem. And then the second thing is ease of implementation, right? Because there's no point having a product that takes a big toll on the infrastructure team in its implementation, right? If you're talking about changing or switching from one provider to another, then this ease of implementation becomes actually ease of migration. And then third, obviously, comes the cost. Your decision has to be frugal in all interest for your organization, because of course you can't have an implementation which is so costly that it surpasses the cost of something which is we are going to protect with it, right? So that's the reason, and all these three things not in isolation, but like I said, there has to be a triangulation of all these three factors, right? Ultimately, while these three things stay at a place, another aspect is that as a CISO and as a cybersecurity leader, you should always believe in creating a complementing ecosystem, right? So you should bring in more and more tools and practices that complement each other and contribute to the overall fortification of your ecosystem, and there should not be any redundant products. That's how I think about it. This is truly very amazing, and I'm very happy and proud to be part of this for so many years. And I think this is one thing that is a true forum where you bring in all the practitioners. They just come in here, they pour in their ideas, challenges, brainstorm, and getting all this thing done in such an exciting and amazing setting, really takes it to all different new point. So really loving it.